Welcome back to Give It Till Reads, where you are in for a treat because no matter what I do, no matter if I screw up, it's staying in. This is take 3, and I made this declaration to myself that no matter what I did, it's staying in. So buckle up. This could be interesting. So I'm here to talk about my review of Her Final Breath, Book 2 in the Tracy Crosswhite series by Robert Dugoni. Or is it Dugoni? I don't know. You're probably wondering, how the heck do we pronounce your last name, pal? Is it Toll? Is it Tao? Well, it's Toll, by the way, if you've ever wondered. But some fun facts about Dugoni, which is what I'm going to go with. I could be wrong. If I am wrong, you can correct me in the comments, and I'll make a conscientious effort to correct myself. But some fun facts about the author. Originally, Dugoni was a lawyer, and he stopped his career as a lawyer to pursue writing, similar to John Grisham. Interesting. He also writes legal thrillers. He has a David Sloan series that kind of deals in that genre or subgenre. He lives in the Pacific Northwest, which a lot of the Tracy Crosswhite series takes place in the Seattle and greater Seattle area, which makes a lot of sense. And Dugoni teaches and kind of mentors young aspiring authors, which I thought was really interesting. So Her Final Breath was published in 2015. Again, it's book number 2. Tracy Crosswhite series. So let's jump right in and talk about the summary of this thing. So Tracy Crosswhite has returned to her police force from the episode in book 1. It all happened to do with the trial in the person that was put on or was convicted of murder that wasn't the murder of her sister and her killer. And so in this particular entry, she's back on the Seattle homicide as a detective. Crosswhite is hunting a meticulous serial killer that goes by the name of the Cowboy. And he hunts young women, and when one is found murdered in a Seattle motel, she's posed in kind of a very strange fashion with rope and a noose. It leads Tracy to believe that this is not going to be the last, and it isn't. The investigation leads her in kind of this adult entertainment area world that touches on misogyny and abuse and very different kind of power dynamics. As Crosswhite digs deeper into the investigation, the case kind of gets personal with her. And there's also some politicking that goes on within her own department, and it involves Crosswhite. And so she's trying to figure out what is going on because all she cares about is stopping the Cowboy. And so that's kind of the summary of this thing. So let's talk about what I enjoyed. Crosswhite is an interesting character. I'm going to leave it at that. I like her character. I think she is an interesting character in premise. This particular entry wasn't my favorite, and I'm going to be honest with you and keep it kind of real, but before I go down into that, I want to say that I did like Crosswhite, especially in the latter half of this book. I liked Dan, who is kind of her love interest. I liked their dogs that were made an appearance and were part of it in a brief way. I like that kind of personal stuff and the recurring character. I thought that was really cool to have that in book 2. But this book obviously suffers from some what I feel are book number 2 problems. And the first half of this book is really slow. And I know I'm kind of like jumping all around because I'm supposed to be talking about what I enjoyed. But there's definitely, the first half of this book is really slow. The second half really picks up. So what I enjoyed about the second half was particularly the Cowboy Killer. We get a little more from him, his obsession with movies and the spotlight. His character was really interesting as an antagonist, and I enjoyed some of it. Some of it's a little harder core, but I enjoyed it. There is this interpolitic dynamics, you're going to be suspended thing with Crosswhite and her captain. I thought that was interesting. Some of the themes are really interesting in this book. You have power and control. There's kind of some politics inside the police force. You have a psychological burden, unresolved trauma kind of thing going on. And I thought that was interesting all in premise. I really, though, if I can flip over to criticisms now, I could talk about the first half of this book. The first half of this book was very vanilla, and it really solidified like that a lot of series really struggle with book twos. Book ones are so interesting because you get to learn about backstory for the most part. You usually do. You get kind of fall head over heels about a character, and so when you know it's a series, you definitely want to go to book two. Book twos traditionally are a little bit of a letdown. This one definitely is in that vein. The second half of the book picks up, but the first half is very vanilla. It's sort of slow. The pacing's all over the place. I think Dugoni takes a long time to get us immersed in what's going on and everything. And that's how I felt. But yeah. In terms of rating and overall, I give it a 3.8. I think the latter half of the book saved the book for me. I think it would have been a much lower rating, and I probably would have really disliked the book if it wasn't for the second half. I really feel like the Cowboy Killer kind of saved things for me, especially I thought the ending was done really well. I will say that I enjoyed the ending of book one as well. This one I enjoyed even more, but overall the book was a little clumsy in my estimation. People who would like this book, if you're a fan of police procedural, you like kind of layered characters, you enjoy kind of female-driven protagonists, this is definitely up your alley. If you don't like graphic situations and violence, especially gender-based violence towards women, if you're looking for nonstop action, this is not your jam. This is a slower burn. But yeah, that's my take. Book number 2, Her Final Breath, Robert Dugoni. I give it a 3.8. Now, the big question is, will I continue the series? Because, yeah, I will. I will read book 3 eventually and give it another go with this series. I don't know. I wouldn't, though, be rushed to get to book 3 to see if I was just me or if it does suffer from book number 2-itis. That's just me. But yeah, it's not terrible. The first half is just slow. If you can get through that, at least in my estimation, I think it's decent throughout the second half. But yeah, that's a review. I could go on and on about this, honestly. I was kind of torn about actually doing a review, but I want to be candid and transparent. But yeah, 3.8 is not a terrible score. Again, the second half saved this thing. So that's my review. Robert Dugoni, Her Final Breath, 3.8. Hope you're having a great day. I'll talk to you later.